with Center for Environment Education based in Ahmedabad. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the annual felicitation ceremony of Eco Schools and YRE Program India. The webinar is being organized by the Center for Environment Education, a national institute promoting environmental awareness. CEE develops innovative programs and is committed to ensure that environmental education leads to action-based learning for sustainable development. We are in partnership with FEE, Foundation for Environmental Education. It is an international environmental education based in Copenhagen, Denmark, and is also recognized by UNESCO and UNEP. Next. Before moving ahead, here are a few housekeeping rules that we request you all to follow during the course of the event. If you have any questions, you can ask in the Q&A session or write it in the comment box. Thank you. Next. Moving ahead, to introduce our programs, namely the Eco Schools program and Young Reporters for the Environment program, that follow an extensive and revolutionary path of imparting environmental education. To introduce these programs, I would like to invite Ms. Khushbu Shah, Program Coordinator of International Programs, Eco Schools and Young Reporters for the Environment, India. She has more than 9 years of experience in providing sustainable environment education, quality education, behavioral change education. She also works with many government bodies and national and international NGOs. Welcome, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, Trishma. And thank you everybody for joining. It's my pleasure to right now introduce the Eco School and Young Reporters for the Environment program. I'm not taking too much time to introduce because you're already aware about what exactly Eco School program and the Young Reporters for the Environment program. So I'm starting with the Eco School program. As you know that the Eco School program is an international sustainable school education program, which aims to empower students and provide an excellent opportunity for the students to learn and to identify the environmental issues, starting from the schools to the community. So it's basically engaging students, which are starting from the schools and going back to the community. And this program is for the class 1 to 5. And Eco School program has a structured pedagogy, which is a 7-step methodology, which each and every school has to follow. And Eco School program is also have a 5 thematic area, which is water, waste, biodiversity, energy, and healthy living. So each and every school has to follow those 5 themes to get the green flag and the handprint flag award. So right now, this is the ceremony where each and every school has a green flag and the handprint flag awards also. And as you know that the Eco School is a global international program. So 74 countries are working under this Eco School program. And in India, we have 250 schools on our board under the Eco School program. And the second program is the Young Reporters for the Environment program. It also aims to empower the young people to take educated stands on the environmental issues, focusing on the sustainable development goals, and also to give them a platform to articulate those issues into medium of writing articles, videography, and photography. And WIRE basically engages participants from age group of 11 to 25, which is starting from the grade 6 to college students can participate in this program. WIRE has a 2-and-2 approach. Individual can also participate under this program, and as a school and college group can also participate under this WIRE program. And under this WIRE program, it's also international program. 45 countries are working under this program. And this is basically investigate environmental problems and issues and to give a proper solution through to publish the investigation through the reporting, photography, and videography. It's basically journalism type of program. And WIRE also enables participants to develop a lots of skill to enhance their skills under this program. So yeah, it is just a brief introduction about the Eco School program and the Young Reporters for the Environment program. And right now we have 110 schools and are participants under this WIRE program. What are the mission and vision for the environment?
Yes, can you turn off your mic, please?
Okay, thank you. What are, I think someone is going.
I think Shreyas and Khushbu, if you're in the same room, one of you should switch off the audio.
So what are the mission and vision for the YRE program? So YRE and the Eco School program, both programs. So our mission is to enhance the environmental awareness and understanding of the sustainable development to student, youth, informal group, non-formal group, and the groups of the community. All are part of this both the program, which is a YRE and the Eco School program. And our vision is to play the significant role in a local, national, global efforts towards the sustainable development through lots of innovation and to be it's like because CEE and Eco School and YRE, both the program and vision are the same. We are working with for the environment and education for sustainable development. So those are the mission and vision for the both the program as well. So thank you so much for inviting, and now I'm hand over to Drushma again to take it forward. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that wonderful introduction to our programs. Moving forward, this evening, we have with us Shri Kartikeya Sarabhai sir. It is a pleasure to introduce him. Sir is one of the world's leading environmental educators, a dedicated community builder, and a Padma Shri awardee. He is the founder and director of Center for Environment Education. He has served on many committees set up by the Ministry of Environment and Forest of the Government of India, primarily focusing on the greening of India's formal education system, an initiative for biodiversity education. As an environmentalist, he is associated with several government organizations and NGOs and has been a delegate member representing India at several international conferences and discussions. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time to be with us. Now, without wasting a single minute, I would like to welcome him. We welcome you, sir, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to really participate in this. Even though I'm traveling in a car, but I hope it's clear, the voice is clear. As all of you know, we are in a very difficult and challenging time. We've just had the warmest July ever, and at the same time, much of North India is in floods. Our cities, Manali cannot be reached because even the road has gone. And climate change and some of the environmental issues, which we used to talk about as something which happened somewhere else, is no longer the case. It's something which we see right in front of us every day and what we can do. And as all of you who are part of it, when we not solve these problems without a very active participation of really all citizens of this planet, and especially the young ones like yourselves. And how do we do this? And what are the things which we can do? So, as you know, C has been working for a long time using the concept of handprint, which came out of a school in Hyderabad, and it basically connects education to action. And I think that's what Eco Schools and YRE are. Eco Schools directly in terms of programmatic interventions, YRE in terms of reporting and communicating what is happening in a scientific way through photographs, through articles and others, so that people know what the situation is. And I think both these are critical things. And the fact that today we have with us some of the leaders in this, some of the champions, some of the schools which have really got the flag. And this seems, again, from my side, let me congratulate all of you on this. India has taken on very ambitious targets. On the one hand, as you know, we have to develop rapidly. And we want to be, the Prime Minister said, when we complete 100 years for India, 25 years from now, we want to be a fully developed country. But development for India will never be the same as what it is elsewhere, which is fossil fuel based and fossil fuel intensive. It has to mean something else. And those innovations will also have to come from all of you to say whether this is the right way. Electrical vehicles, for instance, are increasing rapidly. Electricity and alternative power sources are increasing. We are greening the planet better. We are conscious of biodiversity and how do we save this. So all of these actions are important. As you know, India has launched the project LIFE, Lifestyles for the Environment. And that project is really talking about ourselves. What is the lifestyle we aspire for if we want to reach and participate in this whole effort? On the education side, the new education policy is out. And with the new education policy, many concepts which in environmental education we used to just talk about some years ago are now possible within the school. The evaluation system is changing. Our ability to go out and spend a day in the field has increased. So all of this is something which is, we are in the transition period of that. And again, look forward to all of you participating in this effort, making a great name for India and the world, and becoming the champions that we need for the future. So thank you very much and wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing and inspiring our audience with your words of guidance. Moving ahead, I would like to introduce Ms. Madhavi Joshi, ma'am. Ma'am is a senior program director handling CEE Academy. Ma'am has over 30 years of experience in designing, implementing, and leading education and communication projects in the areas of sustainable development and urban programs in the areas of waste management, sustainable mobility, and greening, as well as leading the rural programs. She was also involved in sustainable livelihoods and water management programs. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Grishma, and a warm welcome to all the participants on behalf of Center for Environment Education and the Eco Schools and WIRE India programs. I'm really pleased to be here as part of the team which works very closely with the Eco Schools and the Young Reporters for the Environment. And the experience of working with these two programs over the years has been really inspirational, I must say, because we've learned, we've innovated, and we've tried to ensure that environmental education in its truest sense is able to reach and engage a lot of schools, colleges, young people, teachers, educators across India in a way that inspires everybody, interests everybody, and also creates ways in which we can reach each type of school and college. So that's one of the key areas that I feel that we've really been able to evolve and work together on these two programs. I think one of the important aspects of the Eco Schools program, and it ties in very well with the handprint concept, we've really kind of held on to that, is the agency of change or of action is with the teachers and students. So the affecting change is really, the power comes from our schools, from our teachers, from our colleges, from our young people. And that's really critical to understand, because it is not a directed program, but it is a facilitated program. And it also is important to understand that that needs a lot of motivation, self-motivation and interest, and also needs a structured way in which, to take logical steps to reach your goal. And that's what I think we've been able to provide through the Eco Schools and the WIRE, the way they are structured. It kind of leads you from investigation to finding out about the issue to be able to actually take action. And that's something that we've seen very interesting examples from schools and colleges where students have really kind of taken ownership and taken action. But that doesn't end there. What we realized was that we had a lot of schools in the Eco Schools program, for example, which had already done so much work that we were wondering how to now, what happens next? How do they get engaged further? How to continue being the leaders and champions as they are? So these are our resource schools. These are also, they need to aspire towards something. So there is a Green Flag Plus maybe there'll be a green flag plus plus later on, but then the challenges become a little more difficult. The challenges become more interesting for schools to participate. So that's the other thing that we felt that it's important as educators to continue innovation ourselves also as people in environmental education, innovation in the methodologies, in our strategies, in the way we identify areas which can help these schools and young people to perform or to become environmentally conscious, to kind of embrace sustainability in the truest sense. So that is an area which I feel the Eco Schools and WIRE has been able to, take forward. And we also do, I also feel international collaborations and being able to work with, at an international stage makes it a very interesting program. The Young Reporters for the Environment specifically provides the opportunity for creative and expression. And also it is a program which we've been winning every year. Each year we have at the global platform, we do have entries that we come from India, and we have 2 to 3 winners in every year. But that's not enough. I think the role is to be able to communicate through our videos, through our photographs, through our articles, that communicate what is the issue and what change that needs to be done. So how do we take it beyond this competition? How do we take it in a way that we can actually make a difference on ground, say through reaching out to a larger audience through our work as communicators? So again, there's work to be done, but I think this is something we'll continue doing. And this year, as you probably would know, there's a theme is pollution, and as Kartikeya Bhai said, the issues are all interconnected. When you talk of pollution or climate change or biodiversity, these are all connected issues. And we do need specific focus in terms of change in lifestyles. We need to look at ways in which we are actually consuming, and how is it that we play a role as influencers. I think educators have a role as facilitators, as influencers for change. And I think as young people, you guys have access to media, are really good at it. I think there's something that's a positive way in which one can use a lot of media and creatively to be able to share the message and engage a lot of people in the change that we want to bring about. So that is the other aspect also about, giving direction, the right kind of information. What is, if you are able to play that role? So I feel as an educator and as young people, one is, of course, looking at how do you create platforms? How do you provide the skills to people and share knowledge, and also be able to effect change on ground? And be role models. I think something that we ourselves do, we can tell others that you please follow or demonstrate. So I think that's an area start, place to begin with, and that's where I want to end. And I think be the inspiration, be that change that you want to see in the world. As it's a very cliched kind of line that I'm using, but I think it's an important one to kind of realize that it starts from oneself. I think if I change, then I can actually say with conviction that I think I want to tell 5 others to bring about that change. So that's it. Thank you so much, team, for including me in this session, and all the best, and congratulations to all the winners today.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us and for your words of encouragement. Next up, now is the time to switch things up and play a fun-filled task. So to boost your energy for that, we have one fun learning activity designed for the day. This activity is all about sustainable living and lifestyle. We get to learn about how beautiful the nature is and all that it has to offer. For this activity, we will practice eco-dyeing and flower printing to discover the enriching colors and patterns behind the most vivid flowers and leaves. To perform this, you have to collect the flowers or leaves and spread them unevenly on your hands. Roll it up and keep it under some weight for 5 to 6 days. And after that, you will have yourself a beautiful and absolutely natural dye on the hanky. Share your pictures with us or videos with us on Facebook and Instagram, and do not forget to tag us. We will be announcing the winners for this activity by the next week. So also do not forget to enjoy yourself while doing this activity. Next up, finally, we have reached the part of the evening that we all have been eagerly waiting for. Now I would like to invite Ms. Mansi Shah, Project Officer, Eco Schools India, to announce the winners of the Eco Schools program. Please, ma'am.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Toshma. Okay, so before we reveal the name of the schools, I want to express my heartfelt appreciation to all the participating schools. Your dedication and hard work have made this event truly remarkable. So for this year, 2022-23, we have received more than 30 green flag applications. And among them, we have selected the best 7 schools for the international certification, which we are revealing in the next slide. And also the 6 schools for the handprint flag, which is a national award for their particularly chosen themes. The schools have worked endlessly and tirelessly on the chosen themes and have come up with the unique ideas to represent their commitment towards the environment and sustainability. So now let's begin with the announcement of our winning schools under the Eco Schools Program India.
Eco Schools Program India is thrilled to announce the winners of an International Certification Awards 2022-23. These exceptional individuals and schools have demonstrated unparalleled dedication, expertise, and excellence in their respective fields, setting new benchmarks for their school. Through a rigorous evaluation process, they have proven their commitment to innovation, quality, and best practices, making a significant impact on a global scale. We extend our heartfelt congratulations to all the winners for their remarkable accomplishments and contributions, and we look forward to witnessing the more positive actions for the environment. Let's have a look at our Green Badge certified schools.
Okay, so congratulations to all the winning schools, and let's give a big round of applause for all the talented individuals who made this program journey extraordinary. Congratulations once again. So moving ahead, next we have the handprint flag awards for those who have given the near standard exemplary performance in their selected themes. Evaluation of our awardees this year was a challenging as their performance were really notably exceptional. Here is the list of schools which have received the national award, which is our handprint flag award. A big congratulations to all the participating schools, mentors, principal, and students for their exemplary performance and also for their continuous support in the Eco Schools program and their commitment towards the working towards the environment and sustainability. Congratulations. Next. Okay, so moving forward, we have present you the honorable mentions. These are the schools who have gone above and beyond in expressing their unbound creativity for our themes over the years. They have also won the handprint and green flag awards multiple times. We extend our heartfelt congratulations to all these 4 schools for their tireless efforts. So congratulations to all the internationally certified schools, national awardee schools, and honorable mention schools for their efforts, for their commitment towards the environment and sustainability, and for your support in the Eco Schools program India. I congratulate all the schools, students, teacher, principal, and the community members who have joined in the for taking one step ahead in the taking positive actions. Thank you so much. Over to you, Drishma.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the winners. Now I would like to invite Shreyas Sajeevan sir, Project Officer for YRE, who will be announcing the national and international winners for the YRE program 2022-23. Over to you, Shreyas sir.
Thank you so much. And first of all, I would start with congratulating all EcoSchool winners, winning schools. Here we come to the second part of felicitation ceremony, where we will be announcing the winners, national winners, as well as international winners of YRE 2022-2023. So this year, in total, we received 380 entries in all 5 categories. And out of this, we have selected 19 best entries, out of which 9 were national winners. And I'm very happy to announce that out of 9 which we selected and they took part in national competition, out of them, 2 YRE bagged international winner, one in photography, other one in videography. So let's begin with announcing the award winners of photography category. In single photo reportage, the winner is Ansh Gupta from CEPT Ahmedabad. We have first runner-up Ayush Maurya from ASN Senior Secondary School, New Delhi, and second runner-up Shankar Lal. He is from Government Senior Secondary School, Shirohi, and is a part of Rajasthan Scouts and Guide. In photo story, I'm really happy to announce the winner is youth group from Odisha, who are actually currently working on East Coast. Satvik Soul Foundation, heart congratulations, and they are working in olive redley turtle conservation. In the category of campaign photo, we have another youth group who has bagged this prize, Environmental Conservation Youth Club. Now they have won this prize on their immense activities and dedication to conserve the natural environment, beach cleanup drive, as well as youth awareness campaigns. Next. Next, we have videography and video reportage. In this, we have 3 categories and 3 winners. We have in category number 1, 11 to 14, we have Netra Jadeja from Zaber School for Children, Ahmedabad. In category number 2, 15 to 18, we have Lakpat Singh from Government Senior Secondary School, Ajmer, is also part of Rajasthan Scouts and Guide. And category number 3, 19 to 25, we have Akshita Jain from SCMS Pune. Next. Article writing is our third category, and in this also we have 3 subcategories. So the winner for category number 1, 11 to 14, we have Krishang Udasi from Zaber School for Children, Ahmedabad, and first runner-up is Sanvi Singh from Seth Anandaram Jaipuria School, Lucknow. Category number 2, 15 to 18, the winner is Pratham Agrawal, Zaber School for Children, Ahmedabad. The first runner-up is Aparna Dwivedi from Seth Anandram Jaipuria School, Lucknow. And category 3 winner is Neha Shahi from A3 Bangalore. And first runner-up is Rekha Mali from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Sirohi. She's also part of Rajasthan Scouts and Guide. Next slide, please. And we have an honorable mention this year for Saint Kabir School, Ahmedabad, and they won honorable mention in article writing. So we have Dimahi Brahmbhat, Divyanshi Shah, Bhagirathi Sayani, Soumya Rathi, and Niyam Mehta. So thank you so much to all participants. I mean, this year we have received exceptional entries from each and every one of you. But I would like to congratulate all the winners. I mean, we had really tough time selecting and, the best, but yes, it was really great. Congratulations to all the winners and runner-ups, and heartiest congratulations to our 2 YRE international winners. Next, we have, next slide. So Vyari International 2022's Ansh Gupta from CET Ahmedabad bagged second prize in single photo reportage. This was his photo which he submitted, The Grey World, which represent the the concrete jungle which we are creating, the urbanization, the pollution. So Ansh Gupta, heartiest congratulations to you. Next.
Bali.
Video reportage. Akshita Jain from SCMS Pune has bagged third prize. Drushma, can we please have a video which the Akshita.
The land of gods, Bali, is a small island home to lush green rice terraced fields, exuberant beaches, rich culture, and a paradise of an escape for hundreds and thousands of tourists. Over the years, Bali has seen a tremendous rise in tourism. Around 33,000 tons of plastic waste washes ashore Bali beaches each year. Not only does this waste deface the island, but also has several harmful implications on the marine life. This plastic plague has led to a marine pollution crisis. Inadequate waste management is making the oceans inhabitable, strangling fauna, and as microplastics enter our bodies, it is slowly killing us. Tourism in Bali has grown exponentially over the years and has poisoned the air, land, and water drastically.
Om Swastiastu, saya Ikomang Supranata, bangga lahir dan besar di Bali, di mana Bali merupakan daerah tujuan wisata yang terkenal di seluruh dunia. Transportasi adalah salah satu pendukung pariwisata, di mana akibat sampingnya adalah terjadi polusi udara yang sangat tinggi akibat gas buang dari kendaraan bermotor. Ke depan, Bali harus mulai berpikir beralih menggunakan transportasi umum atau menggunakan energi baru terbarukan demi keberlangsungan pariwisata Bali. Om Santi 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 Om.
The last G20 summit was hosted in Bali, with sustainable energy transition being one of the key topics of discussion. This isn't just a local issue, but a global challenge that requires nations to come together and regulate our doings. The warming climate has led to erratic monsoon patterns, leading to overwhelming amounts of waste being washed on Bali beaches. Not only will Indonesia's government put an action plan together, but Australia's science agency CSIRO role is to use AI-like technology to track hotspots of litter. At an individual level, we should cut on single-use plastic, support local, use alternate means of transport, do our part in preserving the nature, and with each little step, not only Bali, but the whole world will see a difference.
Thank you, Akshita, for making this amazing documentary reporting a local issue, which is actually a threat to the globe. So thank you, Akshita. And we also have today Akshita with us. Please do share what motivated you to make this this documentary. Thank you so much. Thank you, Drushma. It's over to you. I would like to congratulate all the participants, national winners, as well as international winners, and also the mentors who has been, after all this Vyari and Eco School program. Thank you so much. Moving forward, Drushma, thank you.
Thank you so much, Shreya sir and Mansi ma'am. I would like to congratulate all the winners of Eco Schools and Vyari program. It is very heartwarming to see our students be such great people and achieve such great milestones. Now let's gear up and have some inspiration from our young leaders and mentors. We have with us here our young leader, Shriman Dwivedi from Eco Schools program, Ms. Akshita Jain from Young Reporters for the Environment Program India, Mr. Radheshyam Pandey, principal from Nand Vidyaniketan Jamnagar, who is mentoring both the Eco Schools and Vyari program. And we have a special guest with us, Mr. Deepak Karnatak, a proud parent of our young leader from Eco Schools Committee. Thanks for being with us today. To take this session forward, I would like to invite Mr. Utsav Modi, Project Officer for Tide Turners Plastic Challenge, CEE India. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Drishma, for inviting me. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the winners of the Eco Schools and the young reporter for the environment. Well, our first inspiration story is coming from Shriman Dwivedi from Gajera Vidya Bhavan Sachin, Surat. Enthusiastically participated in all the activities of Eco Schools program in the previous year, 2022-2023. He also spread awareness in the community about his learning and has brought behavior changes in the regards to the environmental awareness. So my first question to you is, what changes have come in your school after implementing the Eco Schools program? What do you?
Thank you, sir, for inviting me. After implementing the Eco School program, many changes come in our school, like we started maintaining greenery, or not only in our school, in also surrounding schools areas. We made botanical garden in our schools and we celebrated many competition and celebration on eco themes. The program raised awareness among students, teachers, and staff about environmental issues and the importance of sustainability. Students learn about this topic like climate change, biodiversity, waste management, and energy conversion, and more.
Okay, wonderful. I would like to add one more question over here. Tell us about your learning experience from the Eco Schools and how it helped you to grow further.
My experience is environmental education, teaching us about both a natural and built environment. Environmental education is hands-on interactive learning that sparks the imagination and unlock creativity. Environmental education has many benefits for youth, educators, schools, and our community. Eco Schools encourage students to research, investigate, and why and how this happens, and make their own decisions about complex environmental issues by developing and enhancing critical and creative thinking skill. As we all know that Eco School help foster a new generation of informed consumer worker as well as policy or decision maker.
Wonderful, Sriman. Thank you.
Thank
Sriman
you.
indeed is a student with a clear goal of making our living more sustainable. He is confident and bringing with ideas. Sriman is a prominent young leader and is sure to bring a positive change in our future society. Once again, thank you, Sriman. Now moving to Akshita, our next inspirational story is from Akshita, Miss Akshita Jain. Hi, Akshita. She's a student. Yeah, she's a student of Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Pune, and specialized in procurement sources. She's an active member of C Young programs and actively participates in WIRE for the last 3 years and continuously winning national awards. In addition to this year she bagged 3rd prize in the video reportage category in the WIRE International Competition. Pleased to have you, Akshita. So my first question to you is, what motivated you to take part in this program?
Thank you so much, Utsav, for the warm welcome and introduction. Firstly, I would like to thank so much for the opportunity, and I'm truly humbled and honored to be a part of this evening, being in front of all the winners and the celebrated guest speakers as well. I would like to thank CEE as well, and as well as SCMS Pune. So to answer your question, Utsav, I have always been an environmental enthusiast. Like Madhvi ma'am said, it starts from the beginning when you're young. And so I was an environmentally empathetic person. I was the kind of person who, if has a candy wrapper in their hand and there's no bin around, I would keep it in my pocket and go home and throw it. So I was that kind. And it was just frustrating and finicky to see people, throw trash on streets. I used to judge countries on the basis of the trash that is there on their streets. And I think majority of this comes from where I come from. So I was born in Jakarta, brought up in Indonesia, and that's why Bali was a choice that I happened to take. So last year I was able to go to Bali for Christmas, and it wasn't the kind, I was just shocked to see the condition, because 10 years back it was just in a different condition, but this time instead of a shoreline there was a waistline. So to gather up all this frustration, embarrassment that I was seeing in my country, in Indonesia where I was born, I took this case to Pasolkar sir, who was my professor at SCMS Pune, and he was able to guide me to this amazing platform, and so I was able to talk about this notion. Thank you so much for this opportunity. That was my ultimate motivation.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I just want to add over here, how will you encourage youth to be a young reporter and to take this challenge further? To take this.
All right. So as Shreyas has mentioned, there were 380 entries this time. And as Madhvi ma'am has also said, like, the competition is what people are participating in. We are putting in our words, but what is next? What is the bigger picture? And so I want to talk about that. Once we focus on the bigger picture, it's only then that students would be able to understand what value they hold in reporting, because that is the first step that you need to take. And so for the 4 major R's that we talk about, which is reduce, reuse, recycle, and refuse, I think that is being negated, or what is coming in the way are the 4 A's that I've identified, and that would be affordability, apathy, amenities, and also lastly is accountability. So this is nothing that hasn't been spoken about. I know Madhvi ma'am has covered all these points, but I would like to reiterate this. So speaking of apathy first, people are not caring enough for the environment. They think that, it's not their job. Like, it's just, I don't care, whatever. That's the attitude that people have. They don't know what the pressing concern is. And this sensitivity has to change. And this is in the hands of the youth. So that is the first step. Secondly, there's amenities. So there's lack of infrastructure, I feel. There are lack of regulations. There's lack of policy. There's no way we can segregate waste. Even if we do segregate waste, there's no way that it will get recycled at the end of the day. And so, I believe the youth are the change makers. And so we will be able to create such policies in the future to change this and bringing infrastructure at the end of the day. So yes, that brings in the amenities. Thirdly, it's affordability. So unfortunately, it's sustainability and affordability is not synonymous. And it's just a fad, just a trend that is going around. It's not for all. And so I believe that in this startup era that we're in, where they're innovators, engineers, we can just bring our resources together, make use of economies of scale, and somehow make sustainability affordable for all and in demand for all. So that is something that we need to work on. And lastly, there's accountability. So we have this negligent attitude where we think that, it's not my job. It's we don't take accountability. It's the municipality's job. It's the cleaner's job, or it's the government job, but it's our planet and we need to take responsibility. So yes, so these 4 A's, if are curbed, we can work towards the 4 R's. And I think looking at this big picture, this should be able to motivate students and participants like us to report more about whatever's happening around us. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshita. It was a wonderful hearing you, and a pleasure to meet you. Now moving forward to our next inspirational story, and that is from none other than our Eco Committee member of the KDB Public School, Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. He is Mr. Deepak, is an engineering graduate from NIT Allahabad and a software professional with 16 years of experience, as well as he is actively taking part in the environmental awareness program. Hi, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. So my first question to you is, have you observed any behavioral change in your child with respect to a sustainable lifestyle?
Changes, yes, of course. So the changes are so subtle that they might go unnoticed to someone not used to that. But the changes, like very small changes, like if you see him being conscious about the usage of electricity and water at such an early age, moving from one room to another, he will switch off the lights or fans. Even brushing his teeth, he will switch off the tap. And if we send him for some small grocery shopping, he will, without fail, he will never forget to carry a cloth bag with him to avoid a plastic bag. And he's the one who forces us to segregate waste. So so these so we are like amazed at such an early age he's able to do such stuff, and all thanks to the eco program that started by you and carried forward by the schools. And it is really important to catch them young at such a tender age, where it becomes part of the nature, so it doesn't have to be forced upon them, and it just becomes their second nature to be environmentally conscious.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So I guess that your child is now a mentor to you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so let me ask one more question. That being an eco committee member, what have you learned from this program to bring the positive change individually as well as the society?
Yeah, so as Akshita already mentioned, that the change has to come from within. We have to have accountable. We have to make ourselves accountable for everything, because the charity begins at home. If we don't change ourselves, we can't change our family, we can't change our society. So it has to be within us. So what I've learned as part of this program is that to make this world a better place to live in, we don't have to make any drastic changes in our lifestyle. It could be very small thing, like for someone it could be switching off lights while leaving room. For someone it could be buying a star rated electric appliance. For someone it could be closing a running tap. For someone it could be buying a CNG fueled vehicle. For someone it could be like giving up the junk food for a week, and to have a healthy lifestyle. And for someone it could be as simple as refusing to use single use plastic. So we have to adopt small habits, so that in the long run we all know that sustainable development is not only important, it's inevitable, right? So that's what I have learned from this program.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Deepak. You are truly a role model for the other parents. So now moving to our last inspirational story, that is from Mr. Radhe Shyam Pandey. Hi, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Hi, sir. Yeah. He is a principal of Nan Vidya Niketan School, Jamnagar. He has 17 years of experience in education, including 3 years in research. Graduated from Bangalore University with first rank. He has been serving as a principal to Nan Vidya Niketan for the last 8 years. As a true environmentalist, he believes that environment conservation is of highest priority for our sustainable future. So welcome, sir. Here is my first question to you. Can you please share about your experience working with Eco School programs and YRE program in India?
Thank you, sir, and thank you, See India, for giving me this platform to take my voice to the young leaders. We at Nan Vidya Niketan have been actively involved in most of the environmental activities that were originated from CE side, and we have really enjoyed being part of it. We had a wonderful and rich experience about our environment, and we were able to develop quality habits among our young children, because tomorrow they would be aware and they would be part of the policy making and everywhere. So we can even see that better change yet to come. However, in their habits that are the healthy habits, we were successful in introducing them. Other than that, there was a sensitivity towards the environment. Now, what I can say, there are 4,000 children, including my teachers. They are coming to school every day, and we have not seen even a single blade of grass or maybe a leaf of a plant was plucked by any one of them. In fact, the remaining water which is there in their bottles, they just pour them in, and it feels like they are considering plants as if their own. So if there is anyone who is hurting plant, they feel like that I'm being hurt. So this is our success in this regard, and we had a wonderful experience.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So, moving to next question, what challenges did you face during implementation of both programs, and how did you overcome that?
Uh, the first and foremost challenge was to change the mindset of people, and particularly the mindset of elders, because the children who are there, with the teachers, they follow teachers' advice and they show the rigor and that change. But once they go to the same society and they talk to their neighbors, to their own family members, they go to market and they see those like in mostly insensitive people. I would rather not generalize, but the majority is like that way. So they were getting really depressed and they were coming, sir, we are trying to do this thing, that thing, but they are scolding us. So I said, you don't worry because you are doing something right. So you have to hold your ground and they will have to change. So you continue with the same manner. So the change in mindset was the biggest challenge for us. And then the second part, bringing the practices to the grassroots level, because this particular program should not remain restricted only to certain activities being performed in assembly. So we thought, let us bring it to the grassroots level. Let us change and modify and transform our own school. Let us make it green. Let us make it, the school which is conserving energy, water, and it is also spreading those sustainable ideas among the general community. And the third part, like if there is a change that you have brought, is that on measurable scale, can that be shared with everyone? Because everybody says I've done this and this change has come. So unless it is visible, it is measurable, like, that means we still have to try more. And the last part that I would like to discuss here, it was the integration of those activities into the regular curriculum, because it should not, remain as a co-curricular activity. And that is what mostly people mistake this. They believe that it is a co-curricular activity and, they don't give much heed to this. But rather let everyone realize this, that this is not co-curricular. It is very much core activity, academic activity, which is needed, which is need of the hour. And let everyone be sensitized towards this and pay attention on that. So we integrated all the activities in our different subjects wherever it was falling in and conducted accordingly, and it was evaluated for our regular academic programs. So these were the challenges we faced, and this is how we came across.
Wonderful. It's been so inspirational to listen you, sir. Let me ask one more question to you. What kind of change have you observed in your student while implementing this program?
The first thing, like I would consider as my success, is the approach of the stakeholders who are part of it, including the students in school, my teachers, my support staff. Even like they are also very much aware. They know that the school there is called CE guys, so they keep on talking about something because there is a CE committee that keeps on, raising issues and keep on talking. So even our support staff was aware that yes, you have to protect the environment. You have to take care of that. Unless those people are into your group, basically you will never be able to execute that at your school level. Apart from that, we integrated the waste management system in our school in such a way that almost zero waste we are sending to municipal corporation, because mostly in waste that can be sent out is the polythene and plastic, which is almost negligible, because once it is being segregated at school, we find, hardly, once in 2 weeks the vehicle will come and we'll send that part to, to the municipal corporation. Rest we are keeping in school itself. We are digesting it and then converting into manure and utilizing in the plant biodiversity that we have created. The other part I would like to mention here regarding the water, almost like we have a zero wastage of water because of the sensitivity. As I told in the beginning, children who are getting the water bottles for drinking water, if there is a water remaining when they're going home, they are pouring that water into the plants which are there, which have been devoted to each class. And, the growth of the plants are also very nice. And it is because of this water. Otherwise, the area where our school is located, it is saline water. We are very close to sea. So if we give that water to these plants, they will not survive. So now this fresh water, which is for the drinking and it is being given, it is really helpful. Apart from that, the optimization of energy at school level, as the parent was sharing in one of the review, that what the child is saying, that, you should not unnecessarily waste the energy. They will be switching off the lights in their rooms, at the home, wherever they're going. It is absolutely right thing. Children are very smart and they learn from us, and they have learned at our school We have minimized the wastage of electricity. On the other hand, to promote the generation of green energy, we have gone for 90 kilowatt solar power plant, which has, which is generating around capacity to generate around 13,000 units of electricity per month. And we are now totally independent from the electricity which is coming from outside. However, we are taking, but we are sending it back. So that means the earlier, the carbon footprint which was there for our school, around 120 metric ton of carbon that we are releasing from our school activities because of our school. Now we have made it to zero because of this, effort, and we were really inspired by the project from from Center for Environment Education. So this is what like I have observed in my school, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really important to imbibe the knowledge of the environment and its conservation in the young minds, and by including such activities, by including such as studies as a core subject in a school, we can make change, or we can make coming generation more sensitized and encourage them to find innovative solutions and method for the way ahead in order to protect the nature. So thank you all our panelists for sharing their encouraging reflections. So now I would pass on to Drushma to introduce our guest speaker for the day. Over to you, Drushma.
Thank you so much, sir, and our young leaders and mentors for being with us today and sharing your reflections with us. Next. It is an honor to invite our guest speaker for the day, Ms. Medha Bhatt. Ma'am is a textile designer by training, artist and advocate of zero waste by passion. For the last 20 years, she has been working on issues related to environment and sustainability by evoking a synergy of ecology and art in her work. Her label, First Forest, is a synthesis of natural history, art, and discards, communicating the effects of waste and pollution on biodiversity. Over to you, Medha ma'am.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, C, and I'm so amazed and I'm so happy to hear everybody on this platform. And I'm really inspired with so much of work, because it's tough to work at grassroots level, and the efforts put in and the winners, everything, I really applaud. And I thank C for inviting me and the team. And I'll straight away go on. I have a small presentation. I want to briefly talk about my work and leave few questions for all of you who are here to ponder about. So I'll just share my screen, and Drushma, you can just tell me if you can see the screen once I share it. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Can you see?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay, okay. So I just want to quickly start by saying that imagine a world without any animate life. And here are beautiful moths. And if you know, can see there's one Picasso moth, and that's named after the famous Pablo Picasso. So there must be some naturalist who really found this interesting, the way the wings were, and thought of giving it a name Picasso moth. Now imagine a world without art. Now, when I say art, I'm talking about, look at this Rathwa community group, which has beautiful colors, costumes, jewelry. They're singing beautiful songs, folk songs, they're musical instruments. So if we didn't have art, if we didn't have this kind of artistic culture, we would have a desert of a different kind, just like how we would have a desert if we didn't have any of nature's beings. So my presentation today is mainly revolved around these two things. One is nature and the other is art. And I just want to explore through my work of art and design. I'll be touching upon culture, about society, about economy, and also about environment. So a little background about myself. I grew up in Pune. I finished my 12th with sciences, and I joined the National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, where I studied textile design. But at the end of my education, I was supposed to do a thesis project, and that's where I did it in Kutch with Kutch Mahila Vikas Sangathan. And I was documenting applique textiles. And that thesis project, I named it as Gardens of the Rann. Now, you all know Rann, which means a dry marsh land. And what I saw in that 1 year of research was gardens. And those gardens were of applique textiles made from old clothes by the Rajput communities in every house. Each hanging, each textile had flowers, birds, trees, beautiful works. So I was young as you guys, many of you are here. I was 21, 22 then. And I was really amazed by human ingenuity, human creativity to look at environment and yet have such colorful expressions in the work. End of that, in 2002, I shifted to Kerala and I joined the first ever zero waste program, which was being established in India then. It was established by an organization called Tunnel, which was a group of environmentalists, and they were looking for somebody to address the waste on the beaches of Kerala. You all know it's a big tourism hub, and this zero waste program was established in Kovalam, and the whole beach was littered with cloth waste. So they wanted somebody to address that. So we started going around collecting waste from the beaches. Otherwise, they would all wash off into the sea or get burned. And I trained a group of few women. Now, if you see these, they were young girls who were 9th pass. They never completed their 10th. They were just small tailors making blouses and skirts. And when I came in and looked at the skirts, I thought, because I had come from Kutch and seen that there was a dry land and people did such beautiful art. And here I was in Kerala of tropical weather, tropical flora, biodiversity. So I thought even they can do trees and become artists and not job workers earning 20, 30 rupees out of whatever they were stitching. So we ended up making a series of wall hangings on trees of Kerala out of fabric waste. Now, what happened in this process was they started celebrating plant biodiversity. They started looking at the world around them differently because they lived there. But once they started seeing art in the way that they could create magic out of textile waste, it really changed. They brought great pride into their work. They started earning more money. And most of it, they broke down barriers of creativity because they had never gone to an art school. They were scared to draw with a pencil. So all of these hangings were done without drawing. They were just using scissors and textile scraps. And this really flourished their artistic imaginations. And next, over the period of time with the zero waste program, we started looking at environmental issues because the organization Tunnel was a group of environmentalists who were fighting pesticides, who were trying to promote traditional farming activities. And I, as fresh graduate in design, was looking at how can we express this, just like how you have your photography, videography, and article writing. For me, it was art and textile and needle and thread and cloth. So I had to do something with that. So we got together as women, discussed the issues which were facing our farming. And that was the time the organization was starting the Save Our Rice campaign, which was in 2004. The first campaign workshop happened. And we tried to illustrate what our farming activities were. So if you look at the first left side of the hanging, you would see beautiful fields with birds and butterflies and the river irrigating the fields. You'll see fishes in the river, and there were bullocks in the fields. And then when you come to the middle, there was a dam built. And then after the dam, you no longer see fishes in the river because the affluence, if you see, there's affluence flowing from the industries into the river. The bullock carts were replaced by tractors. You see people spraying pesticide in the banana plantations. And overall, the field reduce, the fields of rice reduce. So this was one way of expressing the issues related to environment, and this banner became the backdrop of the first Save Our Rice campaign workshop. We ended up making many such banners voicing issues related to tourism, and this group of women became journalists who were expressing issues through discards. Now, from 2005 to 11, I was reading newspapers in Trivandrum, Kerala, where there was a big agitation going on because there was a landfill site near the village of Villapirshala, and there were lots of health issues being faced by the people of that village. And they started agitating. And by December of 2011, the agitation became so strong that they decided that not a single garbage truck from the Trivandrum city will go to this village landfill. And so one fine day, nobody came to our house to collect our waste. So from that day on, we had to start managing our own waste. And since I was working in the zero waste program, by then I had moved out. My son was born and I was working from home. So I started First Forest then to start looking at how one can really look at discards and what was it affecting, because it was a real eye-opener to see the agitations by people. There were violent agitations, and what started happening was people started burning waste at night because they didn't know what to do with it. They were littering it at night, and they were burning everything together. There were incinerators being put up. So, but the one good thing that people started wondering in Trivandrum city was about substituting plastics and looking for alternatives. So that's when, as a designer, I saw an opening, an opportunity to start working. And I started looking at ecology, because this was the time when also working with environmentalists, there was a group standing up, looking at urban trees of Trivandrum, and that group was called Tree Walk. And I started thinking about how one can, as an artist, support these people's movements. How do we create solidarity between people? So every time we citizens got together to protect a tree from being cut down by the municipal corporation, the people who had the courage to stand by the tree, hold it, were given this badge. And this really started opening up my thoughts about what can discards do. Discards can communicate, discards can build unity, discards can build solidarity between people, and look at how we can all connect together with people's movement, because we need to be a tribe. Like all of you here are a tribe, and that tribe needs to grow. Similarly, because it was Kerala and I was working with environmentalists, I was going on many of these bird surveys, and I started talking to them and hearing them that how slowly the bird populations were coming down in one of the ancient pristine forests of Silent Valley. So that was the time I started illustrating birds from fabric discards, because I realized that most of our so-called urban consumers can't go beyond a crow, a sparrow, a pigeon, or a myna. But there was so much more than that, and that biodiversity should be known to a very common person who is on the street or coming to your exhibition. So the challenge here lay in finding the right fabric. The color has to match with the feather of the kingfisher, and the whole range of birds that I created, which was to create awareness about biodiversity using waste as a medium. It was also about creating huge artworks and commissioned art, where I was looking at Himalayan biodiversity. Every time I've been there, I've seen the changes that have come and how I could illustrate this beauty in nature using discards. So what happened in the process was what a fabric, a tailor waste, which would have gone to a landfill, would come to me and become a bird or a tree or a flower. And that became timeless. It would stay for a long, long time and not go back again to a landfill. So this was the idea of working with art. But it was not easy, because when I was going after the agitation, I started First Forest. I was going door to door collecting waste from the houses, because otherwise, if it went to the dump yard, I had a tough time cleaning. So when I went door to door, I used to tell them, please don't give me plastic bottles, use glass bottles. But all that was just not working. As Mr. Pandeyji was also speaking, that managing and brainwashing the elders is really, really a tough task. So that's when I started brainwashing the children. of these people from whom I was collecting waste. And I started the Buck Club in my studio, where we would go from garden to garden, have themes every month, and talk about biodiversity. And as you all know, once we love, at this age, we start loving nature, understanding ecosystems, I'm sure we'll be able to make a change. And these were affected children because they were children playing in a playground where every evening all the waste was being burned. And that burn, the fumes of thermocol, plastic, all was being inhaled by these children. And they found the courage at the end of when I left Trivandrum, they had the courage to go to the resident association and fight for their right to have a clean air in their playground. So I consider that an achievement. Today, they have all grown up. They are all graduates. And I see the Instagram posts of how sensitive individuals they are, and it's very heartwarming. Similarly, while working at NID, this was a group of just 5 students. They were film and video students, and the brief given to me by NID was that they will not make films for 2 weeks. So I thought that they can do an environmental campaign at NID Ahmedabad and think about how we can reduce waste. And it required waking up at 6 in the morning, weighing the waste studio to studio, seeing how much waste was being generated by each department. And then they campaigned vigorously over 2 weeks to reduce the waste, and we reduced it by 40%. But it required a lot of effort, because you had to be aggressive, you had to be strong, you had to be, tell your faculties that please don't take a paper cup and bring your own cup. And they did a wonderful job over 2 weeks. But it carried on for a month, but could not go further than that. It's back to square one. But it was an experience of how to lead a campaign over a short time, and transform a community of 1,000 students in a small area, but how you can really make an effort. Now, while working on this for the last few years, I have been going on shoreline walks in Kerala, which is an 80-kilometer walk we do over 3 days, and we walk only on the shoreline. And as Mr. Sarabhai also talked about, that the climate change has become such a thing. We think it's Earth Day here. Most of our citizens think that switching off lights for an hour, or, having just these little days to celebrate, we are doing our job. Or when we start coughing in the winters in the Delhi air, we start waking up. But it's really happening now. And we are in an age of polycrisis. If we know what United Nations is talking about today, we are in the state of polycrisis, where we really don't know what's the root cause of every little crisis. We can't trace them anymore. It's so complicated. And in this shoreline walk, I have seen climate change in the worst of places because of sea erosion, the sea walls being made, there are roads that have been swept away, and slowly the sea is eating up the entire Kerala coastline. And it has been a really difficult for me, staying there for 14 years, to see that what we are doing, is it really making a difference? And this is an introspection which is never ending. One can never be happy doing upcycling and sustainability when you see day out in front of your eyes. And that's when I ask each one of us that what exactly we mean by being sustainable. And this is where I want to leave you with few questions in the next few slides. It is about everyday choices. But what are those everyday choices? And when we say sustainable choices, what are those? So if we look at a pair of jeans, most of you must be wearing, and I'm sure each one of us has one at least, or 2 or 3 at least in our wardrobe. Now, if you look at just the story behind one pair of jeans, you will know that 25,000 liters of water goes into growing 1 kg of cotton, that is genetically modified cotton. 25% of pesticides is consumed by cotton crop. We have had 60,000 farmer suicides in 2014, mostly are cotton farmers. And if you look at each pair of jeans, it takes 10,000 liters of water to make one pair. and so much of kilometers of travel, thousands of kilometers. So the amount of carbon footprint a pair of jeans leaves behind is unbelievable. And what we do in the end is trash it. And I have seen at the Gujarat earthquake, the whole of India donated clothes. We had mounds and mounds of jeans lying on the roads of Kutch because people don't wear jeans there, and everybody was just discarding their jeans. So what is it that we are talking about here when we are looking at a product, and especially a product like textile? We need to look at these three things, and these three things are within ecology. That how do you produce? How is that product produced? Look at production ecology. How is it made? Is it made by harming the environment or not? What is the kind of chemical and pesticide it has used? You look at human ecology. Who has made it? How, look at those people who make these jeans in those indigo dyes. Look at their feet. So what is there a safer way of making these things? So you need to question that. And the third thing is disposal ecology. So how are you going to discard your textile? So as a designer or as somebody who is working with zero waste, I no longer look at waste as a resource. I am just questioning the consumption. Because waste is never ending. I will keep, I keep getting so much of discards that after a point, people look at my face and say, oh, please come to our house and collect it. They are not altering their patterns. So it is very important that as you leaders and mentors to start questioning and asking not the product, but the people, the system that has gone into making that product. So ask that before you buy, ask that before you discard, and then you discard. You have to really question this whole system before you do these things. Otherwise, our situation is not changing anymore. And I have realized in the last few years, especially in the 2 years of COVID, that sustainability has now become a big hashtag. We put it, it's, on Instagram, we put it and we know we have upcycled something and we have done something, we have changed it, we have upcycled, we have recycled it, and we put it as a hashtag. But it needs to go further. And as Ms. Madhvi Ben was also saying, that we have to look at the larger picture. And what is that larger picture? And I have realized certain things which I would like you to really ponder about is to define sustainability as gratitude. And here, gratitude, I mean by thank you. So if you look at these pizzas, you order it on Zomato, you got it from Domino's, who do you thank? You thank the Zomato guy, probably you will write a review on Domino's. But if I asked you to thank a farmer who made the tomatoes, or I asked you to thank that village from where the groundwater was extracted to make your Coke, you might think, oh, she's being a fanatic. And it is a very, very radical proposition to say thank you to what was being made. But this is what our consumer society has become, that we are not able to thank. And this thank is also about appreciation. And when I talk about this, let's say you had grown that tomato in your own garden and then you made a pizza, I'm sure it tasted differently. And this gratitude also comes when if you order this pizza and once in a while you come from hostel and you have your mother's food, that might satisfy you. But this pizza will only feed you. It won't satisfy you. So there's a difference. And this gratitude is what we really need to base and redefine sustainability for the rest few times to come. And I would say by first looking at gratitude, water. We have been given water as a gift. And what have we done to it as its current status? So when I would like to say that, yes, I want to thank the water, because it gave me beautiful, fresh water to drink. What did I do with it? And we will see that, in the mountains in Uttarakhand, you'll see projects like these, where if I have received a stream's gift of pure water, I will thank it by being responsible, being kind, and taking care of it. And this is what it means in your everyday affair. In whatever effort you put in is to thank and to appreciate what you have. And when I say to appreciate what you have is to cut down on consumerism. And that's why I'm saying gratitude. To tell yourself, especially to children here, I say that tell yourself that I have more than enough. Thank you. I don't need that another book, or I don't need another bunch of pencils. I have that enough. And it goes for all the young guys here who have their wardrobes, saying that, yeah, I have enough pair of jeans, I have enough pair of clothes or food. I don't need much. So if we cut down on consumerism, it's then that the whole idea of sustainability will change. And last but not the least, I would like all the children and all the mentors to not ignore native science, to not ignore our vernacular language. And it is like how Mr. Pandeyji was saying, that when your water has been put, if nobody hurts the plant because they feel they are hurting themselves. This is what native science does. Because here is the Indian pitta. What do you call it in Gujarati? You call it the Navrang, which is the holi's colors. In Tamil, it is called Aramani Kuruvi, which means the 6 o'clock bird. It's a bird which normally coos at 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening. This is the native vernacular language of India, which gives a personality to our biodiversity. It makes it one of us. We feel an intimate relationship. We change the way we see the world, which unfortunately our Western science leaves it as it. It is a pitta. Whereas in our vernacular language, it won't be it. It will have a personality and we'll feel a more intimate connection. So when we have an intimate connection with biodiversity, which is natural to us in our own language, sustainability can be redefined naturally by the children. So I would end the presentation here, and I would sincerely request to ponder what does it mean by raising ourselves on gratitude. And it really requires change of mind and spirit now. We all are doing the work, but our mind, is it really in the right place? Is our spirit really in the right place when we have to thank every day, saying that we have more than enough? And we really need to raise this pledge of interdependence. And this really picture I leave you with is the Chipko movement, which really is the whole correct example of gratitude, where the women really took care of their forests and reciprocated with a thank you to those forests. So thank you. Over to you, Drishma.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your journey of sustainability, which was of course full of challenges, but definitely a remarkable one. Again, thank you so much for inspiring our young minds today.
Thank you.
Next. Now I would like to make a very special announcement. We are launching the new website for Eco Schools program. For that, I would like to invite Mansi ma'am, who will give us close insights on that. Please, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Tushma, and hi again, everyone. So moving to the last session of, last part of this session, this annual felicitation ceremony, which is about the launch of our Eco Schools website with an all new look. So we are here to embark our virtual journey on environmental stewardship as we launch all new website of Eco Schools Program India, which connects not just the teachers, but students, eco-warriors, and community in unified pursuit of greener India. So before moving ahead and seeing, glimpses of the new website, are you all excited? You can just give a thumbs up in the chat box, or you can just give a reaction. Are you all excited? Okay, I'm getting more thumbs ups. Okay, so now let's get a sneak peek of our brand new website. It is a video, and this website so shortly will be available to your access. So let's just play a video. Okay, so this was all about our new website. As I mentioned, this website soon will be available for you to access. We will surely share the details with you all. And for more details, you can surely connect with us. And I'm sure this website will help you in implementing this Eco Schools program very effectively and very easily. Because we have made this website with, we have performed so, like we have worked so tirelessly to gather contents and questioning by answering your questions, by gathering queries from your ends, from all the teachers, from all the educators, principals, from the suggestions. And now we are finally here to make it more responsive and more effective website, so that you can easily implement this Eco Schools program. So this was all about the new website. Thank you so much, and we'll shortly share all the details with you soon. So over to you, Doshma.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, what we see here is a quote by Jane Goodall, who is a renowned primatologist, anthropologist, and a conservationist. She says that what you do makes the difference, and you have to decide the kind of difference you want to make. And I'm sure the kind of difference we all are thriving to make is definitely a positive one for the environment, right? Next. Lastly, I would like you all to meet our team, which works dedicatedly and passionately towards environment education, youth engagement, youth development, and school education, without whom it would not be possible to put this event together. So thank you, our team. Next. Before concluding this session, our team would like to request you all to decrease your footprint and increase your handprint. While footprint is what you take from the nature, handprint is what you give it back as an environmentally conscious citizen. With this, I would like to propose the formal vote of thanks on behalf of Center for Environment Education. I give our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speakers for the day, Shri Kartikeya Sarabhai, Madhavi Joshi ma'am, Medha Bhatt ma'am, who spent their valuable time and graced us with their presence today. I'm certain your thoughts and opinions have been extremely insightful and enlightened us remarkably. A special thanks to our wonderful team, Ms. Khushbu Shah, Ms. Mansi Shah, Mr. Utsav Modi, Mr. Shreyas Sajeevan, and CEE team for their striking efforts in putting this event together. Next, I would like to thank all the teachers who have been actively involved in CEE's programs and the students who have joined this journey for making a greener, cleaner, and sustainable environment. I would like to thank our wonderful audience of our young leaders. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment box.
Khushbu ma'am and Madhvi ma'am, if you would like to add anything in the, vote of thanks for our educators and the children.
Thank you, Mansi. No, just to say that I just wanted to add one thing I'd forgotten when I was speaking is that we've been able to, the experience that we've had in India, the CE team has been able to also guide the Bangladesh national operator to initiate WIRE there. So I think we are learning from our experiences and also sharing them up with different other organizations to kind of launch the young reporters in other countries. So I think that is a very nice thing. I think it was a very wonderful program, and I would like to join you in thanking everybody who's been part of it. Medha, a very inspiring work, and would love to keep in touch with you. And it's really, I think, something that is very special. And gratitude is something that we all actually, should keep getting reminded of. I think the more we remind ourselves and others, I think that's something we should not forget ever. And thanks for reminding us about that. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. Team, good work, and congratulations to everybody from WIRE and schools.
Thank you. And also, I would like to add, thank you, Drushma, for hosting this entire event. And thank you so much for wonderfully handling everything. Thank you so much, Drushma.
Thank you so much, sir. It's such a good place to be, where people are enthusiastic about environment and education altogether. Thank you so much. Everyone has been wonderful.
Thank you, C. And thank you, Shreyas, for coordinating. And it was a very insightful evening. Thank you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and Khushbu ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, especially to Megha ma'am, because it was really very inspiring our young minds and inspiring not young minds, including me also. So thank you so much to having, for this event. And especially thanks to Madhu ma'am also to share her knowledge about, because she actually works for the eco schools and young reporters for the environment program. So thank you so much, Madhu ma'am. And also our young minds, which is Akshita, and parents is also joining today. So I'm very glad to see parents in this committee in terms of eco committee. So I'm very happy to see all of you. And thank you so much, Drushma. Yeah, Drushma, it's a wonderful anchoring. You did wonderful job. And apart from this, thank you, Mansi and Shreyas. Because of Mansi, you are seeing a new website. She actually did lots of work to make this website. So thank you so much, Mansi, and thank you everybody. Especially thanks to Radhesham sir. Especially thank to Radhesham sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, Deepak ji, you need to clone more people like yourself.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.